back to Cooking Up with Neacara and Juice. Here we have episode 2.
Episode 2!
Back with another banger. Y'all, what we're making today is some pot roast, some delicious pot roast with some green beans and some sweet potatoes, candy yams.
Candy yams.
Candy yams.
Whole lot of yams.
Whole lot of
What?
yams. Whole lot of yams.
My male viewers will get that.
So what we're gonna need for the pot roast is all these seasonings right here. And I like to make like a kind of a gravy, so I have some flour, I have some minced garlic and onion, green pepper, and then going over to the green beans, we have some seasonings. Go use some of these seasonings here, some onion, also butter, and then going over to the yams, the candy yams. We have all of these ingredients over on this side over here. Just, you want to tell them what we got for the yams?
Oh yeah, for the yams, you know what I'm saying? We got a little bit of butter. Okay, you know what I'm saying? We got vanilla extract. For those of y'all that don't know, this is what makes it bring a little flavor out, you know what I'm saying? Gotta have that cinnamon. We got cinnamon, you know what I'm saying? And then I gotta look at them before I do it. But we got the ground nutmeg, and then we trying something different. This is the garlic. I don't usually use ground cloves, but we gon'
It's a hidden ingredient.
It's a hidden ingredient, so we putting y'all on. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, hit that like, share it with your friends before we start it, man. So have some fun. Neacara.
Yes.
Right now we're gonna prep the meats, you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna cut the onion and we're gonna cut the bell pepper. So apparently Neacara don't wanna cut onions no more based off the last episode that happened.
Alright, baby onions. I still won though, so.
The light skin onions. But so yeah, so she gonna cut the bell pepper, I'm gonna cut the onions, so we can cut the time in half, you know what I'm saying? So if you by yourself, you're gonna have to do both jobs. But luckily we got a partnership. So so yeah, we're gonna get started, and then I don't know if people know how to cut a bell pepper, so I don't know if you want to walk them through why you do that.
Yeah, it's super simple how to cut a bell pepper. So what I do when I cut my bell peppers is I just like cut the top and the bottom off. Like that, and I'll flip that bad boy over. Cut the bottom of that. And then you'll see like it has like 4 sides. So I'll cut the 4 like sides off so that way the middle part is left alone, lonely. Alright.
That's actually professional. I just be cutting it up.
Leave the middle part simping. Alright, so season for the middle of the bell pepper.
We'll cut that center season off.
So now that you have your 4 main parts, right? Go ahead and chop that bad boy into, or dice it. Cutting board. I'm gonna get a new cutting board. This is gonna make me mad. I'm put this over here with you for a second.
Yeah, for the onions, you don't really gotta dice them. You put them in bigger chunks than what we did with the white chilies. Then they gotta be small. Yo.
Cause it's gonna cook down. It's the better, more texture, whatever. The bigger, the better. Not the bigger, but be like medium size. Ooh, but they coming over here though.
I'm
So
straight.
you don't have to. Woo. Your crybaby onions. I don't know what it was with them onions, but
Can y'all feel that? Y'all feel that? That's how my grandma felt when Obama got elected.
are you alright, Juice? You
I'm-
good from the
I'm
onions?
good.
You back? Okay,
Yeah,
cool,
I'm good,
cool.
I'm good.
So now what we're gonna do, y'all, we're gonna season this nice juicy roast that's gonna eventually be juicy after it cooks.
Juicy.
Juicy. Okay, so what we have is 3 chicken bouillon cubes. Put them in there. It's gonna eventually melt the water. Put some water. Probably put like a cup and a half of water in here. So not all of this water, but just enough water to kind of like coat the bottom. Like that.
That just make you gotta pee right there.
Actually, that's 2 cups. I'll put 2 cups of water in here.
That just make you gotta pee. Sure.
Anyway. So then we put some minced garlic. Like probably like 2 tablespoons of minced garlic. And then we get over to the Creole seasoning.
I got you, don't trip.
And bell peppers. Thank you. You just go.
But you know, you gotta put a little finesse on it, you know what I'm saying? You gotta make it look cool, you know what I'm saying? Like,
extra. Anyways, okay, so we done with that part. Creole seasoning, just do a little bit. Sprinkle on the top, cover the top, and then some sea salt.
You know what I'm saying? Because we don't use regular salt around here. We use sea salt. So just in case y'all didn't know how we come in.
Give her that blood pressure, high blood pressure.
And I know some of y'all got that high blood pressure. So, so then we put in black pepper.
Yeah. And now we got chili powder. Yeah, black pepper was a little strong. So once again, when we season, we just sprinkle it over the top, covering the entire meat. And then I'm gonna like massage it in after.
Come on, you know the vibe.
Taking over, right? Get into your salt, babe.
But do you see the wrist though? Do you see the wrist though?
The flick of the wrist.
You see the wrist though? I mean, not many people got the wrist, but you see how that's coming? You see how we coming?
So you just massage that all in there. Massage it. I'll put a little, so I'm gonna flip it over. And then put everything on top. You can smell the seasoning, that's how you know it's gonna be good. Put a little more sea salt in there so it brings out the flavor. Accent seasoning is one of the things I love to use because it brings out the flavor of your meat without having to put too much salt.
Oh yeah, throw that in there.
Alright. That's good.
She did it, but she ain't had like the wrist flick like I got though. But it's all
The flour, I'm not putting it in there right now. I'm gonna put it in like halfway through, like once it's like halfway through cooking, and I'll add some flour. I'm not gonna add all of this, probably add like maybe 3 tablespoons. To the pressure cooker we go. So you put it in the pressure cooker and you let it on steam. That's the pressure setting. I'll go ahead and just go click meat. It depends on which one you have, but click meat and then let it do its thing for an hour. 45 minutes is really what I set it on, but the hour, let it do its thing. Alright, so we're gonna get into the candy yams.
Them yams.
Them yams, that's known as candy yams. So you gotta put some respect on that candy. If it ain't candy, they ain't right.
Like she had a knife on me, like she was feeling like you need a piece of respect on that candy. Yes ma'am, yes ma'am. So
we're gonna candy these yams, y'all. We're gonna show you the proper way of how to candy the yams. And so how I like to cut them is these like little circles, thicker circles,
thicker than a Snickers.
Sorry, my face hurts ish. Thicker than a Snickers.
Yeah, okay, she's rocking with it, you know.
Cut it. So they should probably like maybe like a half of an inch thick. Ooh. Alright, so the things that you need for the candy yams, guys, is the cinnamon, butter, vanilla, a little bit of the ground cloves, just kind of give it an extra push, in some nutmeg. Did I mention brown sugar?
I think that's the first thing you said.
Well, brown sugar is pretty important. So once again, brown sugar. So what I do is I put a little bit of water, like maybe like 2 tablespoons, just kind of coat the bottom. Don't want to put too much because yams actually does produce water, so we don't want to put too much water in there. So we'll coat the bottom of the pan with some yams. We're layering them, and I'll rinse them off prior to cutting them, guys. So sprinkle some brown sugar on top of it. Everybody got some sugar on top of it, and I have an extra loving. And then add some more yams. And then some, I don't want that one in there. And then some more brown sugar on top of it. So as it's doing its thing, we're gonna go ahead and cover it. We'll find me a top. All right, so now that it's starting to do like bubble and pop and do all this stuff, we're gonna mix it around just so that, just so that like we can kind of get coating on every last piece. Before we put the top back on, we're gonna add the vanilla and cinnamon and stuff on top. 2 tablespoons or 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And then just do the secret dash. That's it. Give it that smoky flavor. And then I'll go back and replace the cover and let it do its thing for another couple of minutes. Be back with the yams. They did this thing for 4 minutes. And so now it's like popping and doing its thing down there. It's pretty much tender. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take some butter and I'm gonna place it just on the top of the yam so they can seep in. And I'm gonna turn the heat off. And then it's gonna do its design. And that's it.
So no more heat.
So no more heat, and it's gonna melt, and it's gonna, the butter's gonna sink down to the rest of the yams, and it's gonna taste so yummy. What you say?
Period.
Period. So somebody had asked me a question earlier. They said, "Neacara, what's the secret to your green beans?" And I said, you know what? We gotta go back to grandmama days when we snapped them.
Snap.
You gotta snap the ends of the green beans, and you know, don't just chop them up. And don't just throw them in the pot. You gotta snap them, give them some love. You know, snap them with love. Snap the ends of the green beans. You know, snap, crackle, and pop them green beans. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and we gonna tell you what we do next. After we done snap it. Into the green beans now. The yams is done doing this thing. The pot roast has got about 15 more minutes left, so we're gonna go ahead and get them green beans out the way. So what I do is I am going to add some 2 tablespoons of butter, and then I'm gonna add some onions. I say like this is about like what, like 2 tablespoons of onions also. So we're just gonna saute them bad boys on in this pot like that. And then we're gonna put some green beans in the pot with the onions. Now I'm gonna go straight into seasoning. Put a little bit of accent seasoning, accent salt. So the purpose of accent salt is it doesn't have as much sodium, or it's called accent salt, and it's a flavor enhancer. It enhances the natural flavors of the food that you're cooking. You can add seasonings and flavor without having to put a lot of sodium and salt. So I'm still gonna use a little bit of this Creole seasoning though, because it has some good flavors in there that I like, but I'm not gonna use as much because we use some of that accent season that's gonna already bring it out. So we just do a little drizzle of that. Cayenne pepper or some ground red pepper. Just gonna add a little heat to it. Garlic and onion powder to it also. I'm gonna replace this top here and I'm gonna let it sit for a couple of minutes. And that's it. Alright y'all, so the roast is done. What I actually did was I went ahead and off camera, I added 2 tablespoons of flour mixed with some of the pot roast juice. Put it in a cup and just stirred it around. Let it get thick and then I poured it back into the pot roast. And then it creates a good gravy for the roast. Now time for the moment of truth. Let's see.
Now it's time for the reason why we here. It's time to eat.
Say our grace first. We didn't even know we just trying. That's
right. Right, go ahead.
Come Lord Jesus, be our guest, and let these gifts to us be blessed. Amen.
Ooh, she got bars with it too. I know Jesus didn't have it like. Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna eat the roast first. We gonna eat the roast first. We already know it's good because we made it, but we just doing this for y'all. So.
Yeah. What you think about the roast?
That mother's juicy. And I don't know. My name is Juice. See, okay, whatever.
It's good.
Cool, nice. What you think though?
I like it. It's very flavorful.
Yeah, I think when I added, when I put my little seasonings in there, I think that's what kind of
Your flavors, your
put
seasonings
it over the top.
sticking out a lot.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
A little thing I do for the hood. Yeah! See what I did there? Yeah. What's gonna say? I can't say that.
You can taste that butter.
Yeah. You can taste that cinnamon and that nutmeg too. And that's very key to some sweet potatoes. You gotta be able to taste the sweet, you feel me? But listen, we're not gonna eat this whole thing on camera for y'all because we don't want to make y'all hungry or whatever.
Green beans though.
Oh yeah, go ahead. I've been chilling on the vegetables.
I like the green beans.
Yeah.
The accent is really good for bringing out the enhancing the flavor, but without having too much sauce with all that green beans. But the yams does give it a balance because you have like the savory, most of the paste, savory, and then
kind of a little salty.
Yeah,
a little bit of salt and then balance out with the vegetables. Plus, it's good for you. You know what I'm saying? And the yams, you know what I'm saying? The yams is yams. You know what I'm saying? Yams is yams. Thank you for watching another episode of Cooking Up, man. Listen. If you like what you saw, make sure you subscribe. Then hit that bell right next to the subscribe so that you get notifications every time we post a video. You feel me?
Sure.
So yeah, make sure you hit that like too. Follow us on Instagram. Our handles are right below. Shout out to the crew. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Tim.
Yeah, shout out to Maria and shout out to Morgan for giving us the idea to make roast. We didn't do a pot roast, but we definitely
did a roast.
Yeah, we did a roast.
And it's Christmas time, so the roast is perfect for the family Christmas. So
and it goes perfect. Like you normally don't see a pot roast going next to some candy yams. You probably just see them next to, some regular potatoes and carrots. But with candy yams, it's actually really good.
You spice it up. And then when they ask you where you got the recipe from, tell them you got it from us. I was gonna say it for yourself, but
let them know where you got that thing from.
But yeah, so thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe. We'll see y'all next time on Cooking Up with Juice and Car. I'm Juice.
And I'm Neacara, y'all.
And we out of here.
Thank you for watching.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah, bounce.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell.
Yeah. In your jingle bell. That's the jingle bell. That's the jingle bell. Hey. Let me get that.
Then he came
Let me get that.
in my house.
Let me get that.
On a shooting spree.
Throw it up.
What?